Hi, good morning. This is Trina here to discuss about solid waste management. So here in my personal information, I have given my email ID and mobile number. So if you have any doubt, you can communicate. And the most important part, that is the course page. So here I have uploaded all the study materials, all the probable questions, solved answers, and the solved problems, and also the semester questions. So first of all, you have to join with this code, and after that you can access the study materials anytime, anywhere. The subject name is Environmental Science. The subject code MC301 for odd semester, MC401 for even semester. This course is for undergraduate BTech students and the streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical and BME. And about the course objective and the course outcome. So the students will be able to understand the natural environment and its relationships with human activities. They will be able to apply the fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess environmental and health risk. They will be able to understand environmental laws and regulations to develop guidelines and procedures for health and safety issues. They will be able to solve scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. So we can hope that our future citizens will take the responsibility to protect our Mother Earth. They will acquire skills for scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. And here the entire syllabus is given. First the general part, that is 6 lecture. Then after that the air pollution and control, that is the 7 lectures. And then water pollution, that is also 7 lectures. And the land pollution, that is 2 lectures, and noise pollution also 2 lectures. So in my last lecture, I have already discussed about the land pollution and types of solid wastes. So today I will tell about solid waste disposal method. So today's part is the solid waste disposal method and the waste management. So after in the syllabus, after noise pollution, you will get the reference books are given. So these books are available in our library. So you can also avail all these things. Then this is the lesson plan. That means each lecture will cover the which topics that is given in the lecture plan. So in my last lecture, I have already told what is land pollution. So again, I like to recapitulate. The land pollution is defined as the deterioration or destruction of the Earth's land surfaces, often directly or indirectly as a result of man's activities and their misuse of land resources. So due to the misuse of, I have told, due to the misuse of like mineral resource, over exploitation, or due to the misuse of the soil, that means soil erosion takes place due to the deforestation. And it is the introduction of some substances into the environment that don't normally belong there, which in great concentration can have harmful effect on plants, animals, and humans. So basically, the unwanted waste generated every day in our domestic purpose also, we generate many of the waste materials like waste vegetables, etc. So we discard here and there. We don't think about anything, that means our environment, we never think, just throw it here and here. That is the problem. And also we keep all this substance in one dustbins, but it should not be, because segregation is very difficult. So we have to be more aware, more careful, and we have to take care of our environment. And the solid waste mainly generated through anthropogenic activities. Anthropogenic means the human activities, and are classified in different parts like MSW, municipal solid waste, industrial solid waste, which comes from the industry, that is the industrial solid waste. So there are different industries, so we get different waste materials from the industry. And also the municipal solid waste that comes from a town or city. And commercial solid waste we get from the commercial places like godown, marketplaces, etc. Then agricultural solid waste we get from the agriculture, like say pesticide, herbicide, insecticide, stock, hay, crops, all these things. Domestic solid waste we create in our home, like old paper, cloth, plastics, crockery waste, vegetable waste, all these things. Biomedical waste comes from the hospital, nursing home, etc. like expired drugs, surgical dressing, disposable syringe, etc. E-waste, these are the all electronic waste. It like it may be the mobile phones, old mobile phones, or electronics items, television, all these are electronic waste. So we are now aware about the solid, what is land pollution, and what are the solid waste, and aware about the different types of solid waste. Now our concern is how to dispose this solid waste. We cannot throw here and there. So there must be definite organized disposal method. So in the solid waste management, generally the management follows some steps. So these are the steps. Number one, the collection. So you know that door-to-door collection takes place in the collection process, and there is a segregation. That means there are two types of bins are kept there. The one is organic waste, another is inorganic waste, like dry waste or wet waste. So that is different category. We keep nowadays, we keep in the separate bins, and we give to the people who comes for the collection. And then all these things are stored, and after that it is transported. So we have to take care about this storage and transportation, because if it kept for the long days, it will create very bad smell. That is why we have to take care of this. And sometimes due to the transportation, if the lorry is very overloaded, then also spills, some of the material spills from the lorry. That is why we have to take care of all these things. Next is the recycling. So recycling is not basically the disposal method, that is the prevention method. If we do the disposal before creating the solid waste, that is, if we do the recycling before creating the solid waste, that will be better, before discarding. If we throw our used materials here and there, before this we can do it recycling. Recycling, like say, we can maintain the 4R methods. 4R. What is it? Like refuse, reduce, recycle, and reuse. Okay, refuse, reduce, recycle, and reuse. reuse. Okay, now refuse means we can refuse to take new plastic carry bags when we go for the marketing. That is the refuse. We can take our own short bags, or we can carry the bags made of clothes, and we can refuse to take a new plastic bags. Now reduce. Reduce means reduce the use of more and more plastic bags. So we can reduce the use of more plastic bags if we take our own bags. Recycle. So recycle, we can do the recycling. The many materials can be sent into the manufacturing industry and it can be reused. In this way, we can recycle. So this bin should be separated, segregated, that which items like the cans, the plastic materials that can be recycled. So that if we segregate, segregate all these things, then it will go to the industry and all these things will be recycled. And for the e-waste also, it contains different types of metals, which is very useful, and also it contains the toxic materials like lead. So it should not go to the environment. But if we send it to the industry, like there are different recycling reagents for the e-waste management. So if we send to the industry, then they can manufacture the new product by using the old one. And there is sometimes we get the exchange offer from the companies also. They promote the recycling process. And again, reuse. So we can reuse the old thing. We can make like the waste materials. We can make some new things like plastic materials. We can make like pen stand or any other things like hanging gardens, or any way we can reuse. So recycle is very important to reduce the waste generation. Once the waste is generated, it will occupy the huge place in our environment. So disposal is very important. If it is not disposed properly, then there will be no place, because every day too much amount of disposal is there. That means waste generation is taking place. So in the disposal method, what is the disposal method? So in the disposal, waste disposal, how it is disposed? So there are mainly 3 ways. So number 1, that is the basically first is recycling is the written here, that it minimizes the pollution, protect the environment, conserves natural resource, and ensures sustainable use of resources. But some disadvantage also is there, like it may take more cost. Recycling is not widespread on the large scale. So these are also disadvantages are there. So in the waste disposal method, so I will first tell about the open dumping. What is the open dumping? There are 4 methods I will discuss. Open dumping, landfills, open dumping, landfills, incineration, and composting. So first is open dumping. So what is open dumping? We choose a low-lying area, a site, disposal site, and all the waste materials are dumped there. It remains open. So as you can see in this picture, so all the waste materials are dumped here. So you can see the picture, that is called open dumping. So it does not protect environment, because these materials are decomposed by microorganisms, so the place becomes very unhygienic. The mosquitoes, flies comes here, and we get very bad smell. So advantage, dumping is very easy and cheap, require less capital and less labor. But disadvantages, it does not protect the environment. The waste material cause foul smell. The waste are susceptible to the disease spreading organism like flies, mosquitoes, rodents, etc. So basically it becomes the breeding place for the mosquitoes, flies. So we may suffer from different diseases due to the open dumping. So what we did, we now bring the another landfill process that is called sanitary landfill. That is scientific and that is organized. So what we do here, a sanitary landfill is a land disposal site that employs the principle of spreading solid waste in thin layers, compacting the materials to a smallest possible volume, and applying cover material at the conclusion of each operating day. So basically what we do, we collected all the solid materials, solid waste, then these are hand sorted. After that, these are compacted by bulldozer to reduce the size, and when it becomes like 0.5 meter of the thickness, again a lot of waste material again dumped, and again after the size is reduced, compacted by the bulldozer, then again it becomes like 0.5 meter. In this way, when it will become like total 2 meter, then we give a 20 to 30 centimeter of layer of earth. Again, we give the waste materials, that is the thickness of 2 meter, that is the compacted by the bulldozer. Again, we give the 20 to 30 centimeter of earth. So here in this picture, you can see the picture is given, that is the bulldozer, waste collection truck. This one is waste collection truck, and this is the figure of the bulldozer. Then, so this is the waste materials, and that is the final earth cover, that is 20 to 30 centimeter. So in this way, we keep it under the soil, that is called sanitary landfill. So there is no chance of the mosquitoes or flies. So what is the advantage and disadvantage of the sanitary landfill? So air pollution is prevented to a large extent. Disease spreading organisms like flies, mosquitoes, rodents, etc. cannot come in direct contact with the waste, and hence spreading of disease can be minimized. A specific location for disposal that can be monitored, where waste can be processed to remove all recyclable materials before tipping. Landfills have fewer costs, allowing them to compete favorably with other disposal methods. And generally, we choose a site which is away from our local area. And there we dig a pit and we do the sanitary landfill. But it has also disadvantage. What is the disadvantage here? So if the waste materials is buried under the soil, then there is a chance of the groundwater contamination. So you can see here that here is the groundwater and here is the waste materials. So there is a chance of leaching. It may be leached down, percolate down and contaminate the groundwater. So how we can solve this problem? So some care regarding this matter is taken in many landfills, particularly in foreign countries. There are suitable bottom liner and leachate collection system along with monitoring system to detect underground water pollution. So here you can see in the picture, the leachate collection system is shown here. And plastic liner also given here so that the waste materials cannot percolate down to contaminate groundwater. So here we have given, that is the plastic liner, and here the leachate collection system also is shown. So what is the difference between dump versus landfill? So it may come like you have to write that what is the difference between open dumping and the sanitary landfill. So in the open dumping, you can see in this figure that the open site where waste was dumped in a pile, just in a pile it is dumped. So what is the problem? It attracts pests of all kinds, create hazardous leachate, noxious smells. And what is the landfill? Landfill, the figure you can see, that is so organized. It is engineered system designed to dispose of waste in manner that protects public health and natural resources. So it required extensive engineering systems to protect groundwater, prevent pest infestation, and contain dust, odor, and blowing trash. So it protect, basically the sanitary landfill protect the environment. Next process is incineration. Incineration is basically the burning of the waste materials at very high temperature, that is 850 degrees centigrade to 1100 degrees centigrade. So by this process, the waste material, the volume of waste material is reduced. So it is very important because in the disposal, the volume reduction is very important. Otherwise, how we can place this all the waste materials? Every day it is generating. And there are 3 types of incineration: rotary kiln, open pit incinerators, controlled air incineration. So you can see the picture here, the incineration process. What is the advantage? So utilization of energy generated through oxidation reaction, reduction of amount of waste, so volume reduction, that is the volume reduction, that is one of the advantage. But what is the disadvantage? So all these things also have the disadvantages. It is expensive to build, operate and maintain. And second, the smoke and ash emitted by the chimneys include gases, heavy metals, particulate matters. So basically, it creates huge air pollution. If you burn anything, if you burn the waste material, so huge amount of the air pollutant will be generated. So that is very much harmful. But in sometimes we need to use the incineration method, like say for the biomedical waste. So these are highly infectious, like the used needles all the unused, the expired drugs, all these things, the surgical materials. So all these are so much infectious. So we need to use the incineration methods. So here you can see the incineration methods, how the waste materials are coming. Here the waste materials are coming by the truck. It is dumped here, and then it is going to the combustion chamber. That is the combustion chamber, and then the incineration takes place. But here also it is shown that the flue gas is emitting. So if we take care of this flue gas, then it is well. That means if we can convert this flue gas into any useful substances or harmless substances, then it will not be harmful. Next is the composting method. That is very good method, very useful method. What we can do here, the composting is a form of waste disposal where organic waste decomposes naturally under oxygen-rich condition. So you know that which are the organic materials, like say we use the vegetables, our waste vegetables. If we throw it like in the soil, so naturally soil has the natural process, so it will be decomposed by microorganism, and it will be, that means their body will be decomposed by microorganism and it will be a part of the soil. So this is called composting. So the composting, the advantages are foul smell is eliminated, flies, mosquitoes cannot breed, harmful pathogens are killed, and maximum nutrients is obtained in usable form. Excessive use of chemical fertilizer is reduced. So this is the natural fertilizer we can use. Disadvantages, it's dirty and can be smelly too depending on the type of material. So that based on the type of material, it can be smelly. So this is the picture of compost. You can see here the organic materials, the decomposed, this is the decomposed organic material. Decomposed organic material and the stable humus material produced when organic matter is broken down by bacteria and fungi, and valuable soil amendment and nature's way to recycling. So it a natural process of recycling. The nature automatically do it. So if we keep our waste vegetables, that means which are the organic waste materials, if we keep the plastics, then it will not be okay. But organic material, if it is sorted, and if we make a place for the composting, and every day we can put the vegetables or organic waste materials into this, so it can be maintained in this way, composting. So automatically it will be decomposed and it will be very good fertilizer. It will be part of the soil. So you can see this picture, we can do it every day. We can make a place for the composting and keep all the waste vegetable here, and automatically it will be decomposed and the soil will be very nutrient rich. Next is vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is a type of composting in which certain species of earthworm are used to enhance the process of organic waste conversion and produce a better end product. It is mesophilic process utilizing microorganisms and earthworm. So what happens? So if you see the picture, you will be more clear that we can add the earthworms to enhance the composting process, that is called vermicomposting. So that is very helpful. It has lots of advantages. It contains water soluble nutrients, an excellent nutrient rich organic fertilizer and conditioner. And not only that, vermicomposting can be also used to apply it for, and it is applied for treatment of sewage. A variation of the process is vermifiltration, which is used to remove organic matter, pathogens, and oxygen demand from wastewater or directly from brackish or fluish toilets, flush toilets. And it also improves the soil quality. It enhances the soil aeration, enriches soil with microorganisms, and microactivity in worm casting is 10 to 20 times higher than in the soil. And plant growth, also it enhances the germination, plant growth, and crop yield. So it has basically lots of advantages, and it is the natural process. We can maintain this in our home also. Next is the solid waste management for the specific materials like hazardous materials. So hazardous materials, what is called hazardous material? So the materials which have either these characteristics of the four, like ignitability, corrosivity, reactivity, and toxicity, then we can call it as hazardous waste. So ignitability, that means ignitable waste can create fires under certain conditions. So it will undergo spontaneous combustion or have a flash point less than 60 degrees centigrade. So the example of this type of materials like ether, acetone, gasoline, methanol. So these are very dangerous. Anytime they can catch fire. Corrosivity. So corrosive waste are materials, basically the pH is less than or equal to 2 or greater than equal to 12.5. They are highly corrosive. So the all acids you can mention like H2SO4, HNO3, the acids, and the base like NaOH, strong base, all these are corrosive materials. The reactivity. The reactive waste are unstable under normal conditions. So reactive waste examples like gunpowder, nitroglycerin, sodium and potassium, metal, etc. They can create explosion, explosive materials. They are highly reactive. Toxicity. So toxic materials like say cadmium, lead, the material which contains like lead batteries, cadmium, chromium, mercury, rat poison, DDT, PCBs, etc. So all these are toxic materials. So these hazardous waste are classified into three parts: radioactive waste, biomedical waste, and the chemical waste, which are coming from the chemical industries. So radioactive waste are the type of waste that contains radioactive materials, like the byproduct of nuclear power generation and other application of nuclear fission or nuclear technology, such as research and medicine. So this has high effect on the living cells. One is like somatic effect, another is genetic effect. So how we can manage the radioactive waste? For the radioactive waste management, we have to do proper segregation. First of all, that is the proper segregation, proper caution we have to take. So you can see the picture. The man also has taken the precaution. And the biomedical waste, that is also infectious. We have to take care of this, and proper segregation is important here also. And different problems may occur with the biomedical biomedical waste materials, like say viruses, different viruses, bacteria may be present. So disease may caused with this, like HIV virus. So disease caused is AIDS. So related waste item like infected needles, body fluids, human excreta, soil linen, blood, body fluids. So you can understand the biomedical waste is so much dangerous. We have to take care of this. And there are different bacteria also which may cause like typhoid, cholera, tetanus. So it is also coming from human excreta and body fluid in landfills. And hospital wards, sharps such as needles, surgical blades in hospital waste. Parasites also causes different disease like malaria. Very common examples I am giving. So it is also coming from human excreta, blood and body fluids in poorly managed sewage system of hospitals. So we have to take care of the disposal of biomedical waste and other radioactive hazardous waste, etc. So I told you the best method for biomedical waste, that is the incineration, because by the incineration process all the materials are completely burned, so there is no chance of infection, although it creates the air pollution. But for the biomedical waste we have to take the method, that is the incineration process. And these are the chemical waste which is coming from the industry, like toxic chemicals like lead, cadmium, mercury, and organic chemicals like dioxin, pesticides, insecticides, etc. So for hazardous waste management, first we have to identify that which are hazardous based on the nature, like reactivity, ignitability, corrosivity, and toxicity. These four characteristics we can select that which item is hazardous. Then we have to do proper handling, that is the packaging, proper labeling, segregation, storage, transportation, and the treatment. And we can minimize the hazardous waste. Waste minimization is the process of elimination that involves reducing the amount of waste produced in society and help to eliminate the generation of harmful and persistent waste. And administrative control. So to choose what are the administrative control? To choose the correct disposal method, to treat hazardous waste correctly, to check the right kind of vehicles used for transportation, to ensure that the container of hazardous waste is properly marked. Okay, so what you have learned today, if I summarize, so you have learned that what are the waste disposal methods, like there are the waste management method, that how we do the collection, then storage, transportation, recycling. Then you have learned the disposal method, that is open dumping, sanitary landfill, and the incineration. And also you have learned the composting, vermicomposting, the advantage and disadvantage of all these methods. And also you have learned that how to, what are the hazardous methods, what are the classification of hazardous waste materials, and how to handle the hazardous waste materials, and how to dispose the biomedical waste materials. Now let's check few of the questions if you can answer or not. The best method of disposal of non-hazardous solid is, what will be the answer? It will be composting. If it is organic, then it will be composting. The best method of disposal of biomedical waste is, that is incineration, the burning process. The short answer type question, What are the advantages of landfill and how it differ from open dumping? So you can tell that open dumping, it does not protect environment. It attracts the lots of pests and create the disease. But sanitary landfill, it is well designed, well organized, so it can protect environment. What are the disadvantages of incineration? So you will say that it create air pollution. What are the hazardous waste? Which process is suitable for disposal of biomedical waste? So hazardous waste, you will say the characteristics that it should be either toxic or ignitable or corrosive. So these 4 characters you can mention. And the process incineration is taken suitable for the biomedical waste. What sort of characteristics are attributed to hazardous waste? So for hazardous waste, what are the characteristics? So again, the same question, you have to tell the 4 characteristics. These are how much corrosive or how much these are reactive. So this part you have to mention. What are the problems arises with the landfill, how it can be solved? So you have to tell that there may be the chances of groundwater contamination, and it can be solved by the proper lining or the leachate collection. So today it is the end of this session. So if you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. So for now, I am ending my session. Thank you.